Get to know all your favorite VRChat DJs all in one place. This is VRCDJ Live.
There's the screen. I was trying to figure out where it was. Well, welcome back, everybody, to VRCDJ Live. I'm Rob Roman, your host this evening, as we continue to dive in to all of the wonderful community that we have of DJing, VJing, dancers, club owners, security, you name it. We're here to talk about it, of course. And before we even get everything started, I want to thank everybody for taking some time last week and submitting your DJ submissions, your club submissions. Of course, if you'd like to come and join us on our staff, we have a submission form for that as well. We're doing it for the community, so we really want you to be a part of it, and we want to bring you along on this wonderful journey as we continue to dive into a lot of these hot topics that happen not only in our community, but outside of our community as well. So thank you guys for the attention to that. And of course, the hype train. Didn't expect that to happen even before we started streaming. But guys, thank you for supporting us and supporting what we got cooking here on the program. And of course, it's a very special lovey-dovey program. Today, we're going to be talking and diving into some more sensual topics. I guess that's something we could potentially be doing, especially because tomorrow's Valentine's Day, I'm sure. But I want to introduce to you our guest, playing almost everything from hard techno to mid-tempo and performing a wide range of clubs, including Nuzzle Squad, which we will be getting into very shortly. Please welcome to the VRC DJ Live Studios, Carroussel.
Hello everybody.
And well, finally, welcome to the program. And it's been so awesome because not only has everyone in our community been able to see you perform pretty much everywhere, but it just seems like every time I get into a club, people are constantly wanting you on this program. So tell us a little bit about your newfound fame, your newfound popularity, and how you've been kind of experiencing that lately.
Lately, I wish I can do more stuff in VR though. But yeah, I've been doing like a lot of live shows, kind of just like music and chill stuffs. It really doesn't, to me, it's like kind of like a relaxing and also exciting experience. To me, it's like I'm kind of just like, I usually try to bring like different contents to people. So sometimes I would throw like my regular stuff, high energy, hard techno, or I can do like something like a really kind of like dark, kind of ominous kind of vibe for mid tempo. Just like experimenting, and like sometimes I play like hip hop, disco even. So yeah, for me it's like I'm just trying to bring new stuffs and different vibes to people.
Do you have any particular favorite genre that you've been wanting to perform or have been performing in VRChat recently?
It's got to be hard techno, right? Just love that. Like pew pew and that kind of sounds.
There's constant laser sounds and constant just hard techno.
Yeah.
So kind of tell us a little bit, because I think a lot of people constantly think about this too. Especially when I hear about the harder style of music, I kind of wonder what the day-to-day for them is like. When you hear like a hardcore kind of sound, do they shower while listening to hardcore? Do they wake up listening to hardcore? How do you get into hard techno throughout the day?
Oh, I'm not that crazy, but yeah, usually when I'm driving, right, I like to put on hard techno.
And that's not like, that doesn't make you drive faster, does it?
No. Won't talk about that. Hope there's no actually like state police or anything like watching me. So yeah, but yeah, I usually play hard techno while driving. So yeah, it kind of like wakes me up and keeps me going. Just prevents me from falling asleep while driving mostly. And also I enjoy it. Yeah.
So I know we were kind of sitting here kind of talking a little back and forth before we even started the podcast today, or the radio show today, and how you were saying that this has been a long time coming for you, because for you, you're constantly busy. You're either working or you're here and you're DJing a lot. Tell us a little bit about the grind and kind of, how you love to perform, pretty much.
Yeah. So for me, basically, performing in VR or just like performing a DJ set, it's kind of like an escape for me from like the stressful work IRL I've been doing. So for me, I do go to work full time from Monday to Friday. That's why people just really don't see me during weekdays. Because like usually after work, I'll be dead, just like a potato, laying laying in my bed or something. Usually just like going to bed or relaxing super early. So yeah, that's like why I don't really do much stuffs during weekdays. But for weekends, I usually just try to get everything, get like my work kind of mindset, work kind of things just behind me, just enjoy my time partying, stuffs like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Seeing that you work full time, was it Monday through Friday? You were saying.
Yep.
How do you gather up all that energy even when you come home? Do you just kind of come home, have some dinner, or do you try to plan some of your sets, or even have time to listen to new music before you have to perform on the weekends?
So you're asking about like prepping musics, right? To me, usually it just like comes to like I usually go onto my station on SoundCloud or like my daily Spotify feed just to kind of like scroll through it. Usually when I'm at work, like a lot of times I just like put my earplugs in. I just don't want to hear anything. I just vibe with the music. And if I see or if I hear anything nice, I would just like add to the playlist. And usually I will have like a daily playlist or something like that for me to go through when I get home. Like I usually will like get home, eat some food, hang out with some friends for a little bit, and then before like I actually go to bed or anything, I would start downloading downloading new music to kind of like keep my library fresh. Usually it wouldn't include like too much music daily, so it's not like too much work.
It's always very interesting, especially for me, because I know several years ago when I was working full time, and if you were to ask me nowadays how I was feeling when I was working full time and streaming and performing and stuff like that, I honestly can't even remember how busy I was truly comparable to all the things that had been done. So every time I do hear that people do work full time, plus they come in here and perform, plus they got a social life, plus they got their personal life, and they try to mix in like sleep schedules in that too. It's all very interesting and fascinating, especially for a lot of the VRChat kids that do come in here and they spend a lot of their time just in here, rather than playing some games and all that sort of stuff. So just hearing about that is fascinating. And I think a lot of people should be taking a nice little page out of that when they're performing and stuff like that. But of course, this is VRCDJ Live and it's a live show. And if you're in chat and you'd like to chime in while we're asking the questions and talking about all sorts of topics, please feel free to drop it off in the chat. Whether our producer will get a hold of me on that, or I'll grab it, or even Carroussel might want to ask you guys all the questions too. I mean, this isn't just a moment to talk to Carroussel. This is a moment for this. You guys are in it now. Carrousel is going to be the one asking the questions here. I don't know if you knew that. I probably should have told. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kind of sitting there, be like I'm freaking out a little bit. Yeah, with a live show, but of course. And I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the social medias you got going on here. Obviously, you were stating that with your name, you kind of had to throw in a couple of extra letters to differentiate yourself from some other things, as well as changing up your socials. Kind of take us down the road with that and how that process has been handling for you.
Well, yeah. For me, the name Carroussel actually came from one of my friends I used to hang out with, and she doesn't get on too much anymore. So, like, there was like one night where we're just like joking, hey, what if you just change your name to Carroussel? Because the previous username I was using, which was Careless, which is like super similar to this one, but for some reason I think they think it's a little bit easier to read, easier to understand. So they just told me, yeah, maybe you should just change your name to Carroussel. I was like, bet. That was like the drunk me. And then Like I just like went AFK for about 15 minutes, came back, and then I got a new username, and yeah, that's basically how I got my name.
So does it have anything to do with the ride, a carousel with the horses and the sleds and stuff like that?
Not necessarily,
Okay.
but we make jokes about it. So yeah.
You could say something like, well, the music goes round and round, or how turntables go round and round. You haven't come up with anything like memey or funny to kind of go off of that?
No, not really.
No. That's good. You're in a safe space. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity in VRChat to kind of be like, well, maybe we'll put you on a horse. Maybe we'll, put you on the ride, or maybe we'll just attach the ride to your avatar or something like that. So as far as the process going for social media, and I noticed that even with the link tree that you have currently up on your Twitter, one of the big focal points not only is your YouTube, but also SoundCloud as well. Talk to us a little bit about that process for you. Do you have any other ideas of what you want to do for social media in the future?
Yeah, for me, it's just like it's kind of hard to manage my social media at this point right now. I don't really have too much time. So for me, it's like I'll post the barely minimum amount, just for like events and stuffs. I'm not like baby no money, just constantly posting funny contents or things like that. I wish though. If I quit my job, yes, I'm gonna start doing that. But yeah. So for me, it's like for SoundCloud or YouTube, I usually would just post my previous sets. Sometimes I post it like really timingly, just like within like 10 minutes after I'm done, just send it. But yeah, I usually just mainly focus on my SoundCloud.
You brought up Baby No Money and the fact that, he's been kind of just creating video after video after video, trying to get all the attention on social media, and also I mean promoting a lot of his music too. But have you been trying to gain inspiration from what he's been up to, comparable to what you want to do in the future?
Not from him actually. It's from other person called Julian Bam. It's a German YouTuber streamer. I've talked to Tasu previously about it, like a little bit. Just like, because that person makes a lot of like German shitpost videos, kind of like meme kind of vibe, but it also includes like a lot of creativities. He actually just like creates music or pieces of music just for his meme videos, which is really great. And there were like one of his videos actually included like a remix or a remake for Baby No Money's La La La, So yeah, that was like kind of like an inspiration for me, and I kind of want to start doing that kind of stuff in VR since VRChat kind of rolled out a new camera features for that. I haven't got time to actually check it out, but I think it's going to be like a great thing to have.
I know we were kind of talk a little bit about it a little bit later, but you kind of drew me in with the fact of the memes and understanding the memes, and I feel like there are a lot of DJs in VRChat that either really want to focus their career solely on music, or even maybe just want to be a hobbyist in VRChat and do lots of memes and stuff like that. Obviously, on social media, I see a lot of your reposts of some of these memes, but kind of tell us a little bit about how you kind of put together your sets and how you portray Carroussel as a DJ with a nice little equal amount of memes and kind of professional sound.
Yeah, to me, I feel like having memes doesn't really conflict with the idea of being professional. Who was it? I remember there was like one duo that actually played the VRChat live. Like it's a psytrance track. Remember that one? Yeah. So it's not a conflicting idea, but obviously you don't want to like to have your entire set just being like random shit posts, random memes. That'll just make it like, kind of like what even is this? Like, because like people kind of like have like some kind of expectations. Like general audience, they have like some kind of expectations when they go into like a rave or events or things like that. So yeah, I mean, like a little bit of memes wouldn't harm. But just kind of want to still kind of like focus more on like music, just making your set sound good. Take your time in your like your transitions and stuff. So that's like my point of view, kind of like what I'm trying to focus on, and I'm totally for the memes. Because I know if people actually go to my sets sometimes, I would like throwing like memes here and there, but usually it's not like an entire set of it. All right, yeah.
It always seems like kind of a little bit of a tender subject, especially when it comes to the VRChat community, something that we don't normally tread on and we don't normally talk about, because I think overall, I would hate to even say 100% of the people that are in here enjoy memes. Or they came into VRChat because of a meme, or you're talking to the meme, I guess, a meme. But it's just also very interesting to kind of bring it up over the fact, because you do have some people that genuinely want to take DJing very seriously in VRChat, whether it's performing some of their favorite music or finding a cool new edit or something like that. But then you do come across someone that does perform memes a lot. And then they get all the attention because those are very funny, but it's kind of just like a one-off kind of a thing. And hopefully they don't just make their living off of the memes. So when you put together a set, let's just say, and how you were saying that, you have to just kind of introduce the memes from time to time. How often, let's just say within a 1 hour period, how often would you kind of throw in a meme?
Usually when I'm performing like a set, right? Sometimes there's like no meme at all, because I don't know if there's like anything that would like fit in. For me, it's like a lot of times it's just like I have to like think, just like when I'm playing, like what's gonna be the next track? What's gonna be the next track? So yeah, it's like a lot of like thinking, panicking, stuff like that. But it's not like really panicking. But yeah, sometimes it's like if I hear like a track that has like a similar beat or a similar type of melody to one of the meme songs I know, I might just slide it in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always seems like a very fun thing to do here, because I mean, obviously you don't want to take things too seriously in here, because it's just like, well, if you're too serious, then it doesn't ever seem like you have a good time or will have a fun time overall. But the reason why I kind of bring this up too, and we're going to talk a lot about a lot of different things. I know in chat, someone mentioned about the Dolly system that is going to be implemented already in the beta of VRChat, we'll get into as well, because that's kind of an important topic. But I wanted your kind of inside out look or outside in look about memes. Obviously, in this space in VRChat, performing a lot of memes is kind of like a given. I feel like that's something that we do a lot and we enjoy. But comparable to IRL stuff and IRL DJs, let's just take a moment to be like, okay, let's just say you decide to go to a bar or club and you hear some memes, comparable to someone who doesn't DJ, or even understand how transitions are working. Where do you find memes in IRL DJing and where it may be heading? Because again, we were just talking about the ooh ee ah cat kind of hitting pretty hard in a lot of larger venue spaces. But I promise you probably won't be able to play that in just a regular like town club, comparable to something like Tomorrowland or something.
I'd get kicked out.
Yeah. I mean, you could, but I'm not really sure how that's going to play out.
Yeah. So for things like, if you're playing like kind of like a regular setting, like for me, it's like I'm kind of like wanted to know like what kind of vibe the venue has. Like usually, I usually it's like I don't know. I would not want to be like the one that is really out of place, like for example, if everybody's playing like hip hop in like a kind of like club or a bar kind of setting, I don't want to be the guy that's throwing down like rhythms or hard techno. Yeah. So usually it goes a lot with the kind of like what people actually expect. Like I would kind of like ask around and see what people vibe with. So
I'm sure after a little given time and a little bit of what do they call it? Truth serum, persuasion, liquid persuasion. That's what it's called. A little bit of alcohol in the system, and you could pretty much just play almost anything, I guess, nowadays. But so are you kind of seeing that there's going to be a little bit more kind of technical memes in the future? Is that something that you think that a lot of us are going to be kind of going down?
Yeah, like a lot of times, like for memes, like there'd be like some really interesting tracks, like SpongeBob kind of remix for stuff like that. They do hit hard. So yeah, like so for example, if you're playing like a set for like up tempo, like a generally higher energy kind of set, if you slide that in, it's gonna be really good. But yeah, or if you're playing like hip hop or stuff like that, you can kind of like slide in like stuff like I show speed. It's gonna be funny as well, but yeah, it's not gonna be out of place too. So for me, it's like the most important part is integrity, set integrity.
Yeah, I think so. And it's, one of the things that it just kind of popped into my brain I thought would be ultra funny is like if you have someone like David Guetta that got hired to perform at like a middle school dance or something, and he's just there and he's just like either playing something really hard or he's playing like the SpongeBob theme really hard or something. Like that's something that I think a lot of the internet really would love to see in the future, comparable to like, let's just say David Guetta playing at a bar or club. And then he puts on that track and it's just like, all right, we get the idea, but don't test our ages when it comes to this type of music. But speaking about memes and speaking about meme culture, I think a lot of us in chat are eager to understand a little bit of your background origins in VRChat. So take us back to day one. Take us back to when you first started VRChat. How did that roll for you? How did club culture how did get integrated into your lifestyle here?
Yeah. So when COVID first happened, right? I was still in college. I got plenty of nothing to do just because everything just converted. Like all of my classes got converted to online format, and I was not really doing great during that time, right? So I was kind of just like trying to find stuff to do, and then luckily I got my college friends that actually were like dragging me into VRChat. Like from the start, we were kind of just like hopping around, kind of like playing games and doing a little bit of like drinking and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit too much, but yeah. Yeah. Well, like we didn't really have like too much stuff to do during the lockdown time. It was tough. Yeah. So we started to get into VRChat, kind of like to kind of like be like a supplementary kind of form for socializing. And my friends kind of like got me into playing VRChat. We first started out doing like stuff like Truth or Dare, or just like hanging out with people in public worlds like Grey Pug, Black Cat, or even a dead world like Void Club or Fur Hub, things like that. Yeah. Or just like drinking, chilling. That was like from the start of me. And then after like years later, right, during the time I kind of like got like a little bit of like alcoholic tendency, but I got myself out of it. So I was like, nah, drinking every day, it's not it. I'm gonna chill. And then got into like stuff like dancing, and it's kind of fun for me. And then I kind of started to get into trying to find good music to dance to. I learned like shuffle dance, kind of like hip hop. It's kind of like a hip hop dance. Technically, it's kind of like it's really high energy. You can call it like happy feet or whatever. But yeah, and then later I got into stuff like raves when my friends kind of dragged me into it, saying like, "Yo, check out the VRChat club." And then I got into it. It's like good experience. Yeah, and then for me, it was like kind of just like searching for music or a great DJ to listen to actually to dance to. That was like the start of it before I actually started DJing.
So what were some of the clubs that you first got to experience in here, and maybe even some of the first DJs that you ran into?
I think it gotta be, like a couple years ago was like Club Orion. That thing was popping off. You'd find random events over there like all the time, basically. So yeah, for me, I didn't really find anything special. I was kind of just like vibing to music and the general setting. Yeah.
So was it kind of just a call for like hip hop music that you were first kind of looking to get into, especially
First
because
was
of
like-
the hip hop dancing?
Yeah, hip hop music and house music, and then yeah, I think just house music would be like easier for me to dance to. So I was actively just searching for house music for a point of time, and then I kind of opened my mind to stuffs like drum and bass, hard techno, and even dubstep, mid tempo. So yeah, it's kind of like for me, it's kind of like experience for exploring and stuff like that. For me, I started listening to EDMs back to when I was still in middle school, high school. You know, listening to people like Alesso, you know, and like those early Monster Cat label kind of melodic kind of bass music. Those were like my favorites during when I was in high school and middle school.
So how did you find about all the different kind of clubs and groups and stuff earlier on in VRChat? Where did you find a lot of the newer sounds, talents, performers? Is it just kind of word of mouth based off your friends, or?
Yeah, I used to have a friend to jump around, and then he got married, so he doesn't get home anymore. I used to have a friend that jumps.
But he gets married. He gets
everywhere.
married and he can't dance anymore, right? Is that what you're saying? No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
It's
marriage
over,
does to
yeah.
a man. Yeah. So literally, that's like what we do. We just like get on VR and then hop to clubs, see what's going on here, what's going on there. So if I find like a place really interesting to me, I would just like favorite it and then try to go there more.
So you were saying
you know,
saying that your passion started with dancing or hip hop style dancing. Did that happen before the DJing happened? Were you kind of focused in on the dancing before the DJing happened?
I wouldn't say I focused on it like at any given time. It's kind of like a hobby. So yeah, I used to do like those kind of shuffle dance when I was in high school or middle school. Kind of just like doing it for fun for shit posting, I guess. And it's just like kind of like a form of entertainment to me. It really isn't anything too special. And then I was also kind of learning music productions. I was like learning a lot of stuff formally, kind of. I had a teacher, had a mentor for me for like music productions and stuffs. And then he kind of introduced me to DJing and stuff like that. I used to kind of like mess around with his DJ controller. I don't know what it was, so I kind of forgot what it was, but it was kind of like it was like a pretty basic one. I think it was FLX6 or something like that. I couldn't remember, but yeah, that was like years ago. So I kind of just like messed around with his setup and gear. And that's how I got into it. At first, I was never serious about it. So
this is a mentor that you had outside of VR, or is this someone that you met in VR?
outside of VR, yeah, that was like even before I was I knew VRChat was a thing.
Really? No. Okay. So when it came to the mentorship and stuff like that, was he just kind of focusing more on the music that you were wanting to perform, or did you kind of learn a little bit about IRL clubs or how it's supposed to work out for a lot of these other clubs?
So he does IRL shows, like IRL DJing and stuff like that. He does like charity events or just like general club performing. So I kind of just like, but that wasn't my interest during the time. I was more interested in learning, you know, like modern style kind of music production for electronic music. That was like my focus during the time, and DJing was kind of just like a side thing, side quest, you can say that. When I was learning that, so yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about this music production then, because obviously as you continue to go down where you're interested in a lot of the music and wanting to either perform it or create it, tell us a little bit about what you were looking to hope to create or your ideology of how you want to create music in the future.
I think I was really into stuff like trap or dubstep during the time. But yeah, I was just trying to kind of like get a hold of like, to just like, I was like a beginner during the time. So I was just trying to get to know it and stuff like that. So right now it's like, I'm still like producing stuff. Like sometimes you can hear like my edits during my sets and stuff like that. I also produce my own stuff, but there's only one track, but that's like actually I think it's worth it. So for me, it's like I just don't have enough time to actually be able to focus on it just because the full-time job, and I'm really seriously consider about quitting it.
See, a lot of this is super interesting too, is because as we continue to understand the DJ's role, and we got a lot of people in VRChat that want to be a triple threat, which for those people that need to know is you're a DJ, you're a dancer, you're an artist or a producer or something. You have three things that you're really good at. But we do stumble across a lot of people that do produce their own music, they produce their own edits. And then you have a bunch of people in VRChat that legit they DJ, but then they also want to create their own music too, comparable to like either, okay, do we want to do full-time DJing in the future or full-time producing? I'm going to be an artist, a musical artist that writes music or performs said music. And seeing that there's a lot of inspiration in VRChat overall with a lot of those types of people, have you kind of reached out to a lot of other performers in VRChat that kind of share your same vision on what you want to accomplish with that?
Yeah. So one person I would say is Kitsune Mixes, which is the person I'm actually, it's the person that's in a group that I'm actually going to the KatsuCon in DC this weekend with. So yeah, and he does a lot of production stuffs and editing, and he also does live DJ shows. I would actually recommend him to be here. So yeah, if you guys actually have time. So
of course. So are you hoping to like make music with them, or are you like together as a duo, or just kind of bum ideas from each other?
I kind of just like, I know he produces music and he's really talented. For me, it's like I kind of need to come up with ideas if I actually wanted to, hit him up to do something, to collab and stuff like that. I also know that Bobby J also has like collective for artists, for VRChat artists. The owner for whatchamacallit? I forgot the name of it, but yeah. So they actually have a collective for VRChat artists, for producers like that, to produce like bass music and stuff. I know that's what they're focusing on. So yeah, I might hit them up one day if I actually get my time to focus on production.
Without kind of further pushing this type of topic, because again, I feel like there is an interest in here somewhere, especially as we continue on with the different seasons and the different flavors of the year, and we get some new DJs coming in, and maybe they're trying to get their feet wet when it comes to performing for the first time or the first consoles, or even looking to network and find other people that want to make music. Have you even you did consider leaving your full-time job at some point in time, but at the same time too, you want to focus your energies on a specific task. Is producing music going to be what you would be focusing in if you were to leave your job, or is it something more DJing, IRL DJing, that you're going to be focusing on if you decide to do that?
I think music production would be like the main thing I would be focusing on if I actually got time to. Yeah. Because like for me, it's like I have like a lot of ideas I wanted to try out. Like including, just making shitpost tracks, shitpost songs. But I just really didn't have time to actually do it. So again, that's probably like one thing I would want to do, because like this full-time job for me, like IMO, really not worth it. So
It's all very interesting. Again, what you were saying, how like meme culture and understanding meme culture, and it's so funny because originally when you were thinking about VRChat, we're constantly thinking about the memes and meme avatars and how people have genuinely made a career out of making meme avatars, especially with the content you find on YouTube and stuff like that. But just like anything, there should be a career in what you want to try to base that off of. I'm not saying that, like, again, you have to be a meme DJ, but at the same time, someone's got to make those memes, and someone also has to be kind of meticulous about how they want to create the memes or a type of a joke or something. And just as meme culture happens, it does take a lot of effort and a lot of time. And you also have to be really quick. Like the response time to that has to be pretty quick. Otherwise, you lose the substance of it all.
You have to keep up with the trend and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like back in the time, back in a couple of years ago, like when Uganda Knuckles were like a really popular thing in VRChat. Actually, like a lot of people, when you ask people about like normies about VRChat, maybe I shouldn't use normie, but yes, you ask other people like outside of VRChat about what they think about VRChat, they would just reference to that Uganda Knuckles meme or like those videos out there for that was like a couple years ago, 5 years ago maybe. Yeah.
I know we were kind of briskly talking a little bit about memes and meme culture, as well as the meme videos that are up on YouTube that I think a lot of people have been making a lot of efforts to either avoid or learn a little bit about, but also want to learn more about VRChat's future. I know we were kind of talking quickly about the different types of videos and how VRChat is represented on the internet overall. What are your thoughts on some of the videos that you've seen on YouTube so far about VRChat as a simulation, even comparable to some of the DJing videos that you may see up on YouTube?
So I see a lot of memes and also sometimes a lot of negative content too. Like negative contents, like stuffs like, exposing a pedophile, or stuffs like talking about like talking about how fucked up people are. Like some people are actually pushing that kind of narrative for content creating, just to grab attention from like the people that are outside of VRChat community, just to so it kind of like portrayed the game in like a really bad way. So I feel like that's the kind of thing that we should try to discourage or even suppress.
I know as we continue to look a little bit more into the future, and again, 2025, this is a brand new year, so we have plenty of opportunities to kind of redirect the attention towards a specific area as opposed to some of the clickbait stuff that we constantly get fed into. But what is something that what are a couple of things that the DJ community overall in VRChat that we can help accomplish a more positive light within not only VRChat, but within our community too?
So shout out to people actually that create really great venues and stuff like that. Those are like a really good, like when they are doing like events in their like cool venues and they have like highlights and stuff. I know Contain that does that, which is, like I think is really going to help out with the positive content to get people into like VR raving and stuff like that for all the music lovers that, doesn't have time or the money to travel to big raves, big venues, big convention, or like big music festivals to to have a fair share of chance to to get to experience the music and partying with people, that kind of stuff.
I know we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the clubs that you're involved with in VRChat, but of course I want to continue on this rolling ball of understanding IRL things, going to these types of conventions, as well as integration between VRChat and the real world. Before we get to that, though, of course, this is VRCDJLIVE. We're here with Carroussel, and we're asking them a bunch of questions about the DJ community, and of course, we got some people in chat asking all of the questions and all of the things, and of course, we got a shout out from Calicorp. Do you know about Calicorp?
Yeah, those are my friends.
Perfect. Obviously, there's a big old shout out to that, and apparently, was it Solari? Solari wants to take you on a date. Is that how that works? You want to go to the Brody Dining Hall? What's that all about?
That was like we're actually college roommates. So that was like a college dining hall. That was like a pretty good one for us actually. So yeah, we usually go there for dinner and stuffs.
What do you think? What do you think's on the menu for Valentine's Day in the Brody Dining Hall?
For me, I don't really know. I haven't been there for a hot minute, but. Honestly, I still got some dining passes left. Maybe I can still go there one day. I don't.
I mean, that's pretty romantic. Listen, it doesn't matter who you are. The free food is free food, right?
Yeah,
no doubt. But is this your first year going to KatsuCon? You were just talking about how that's going to be happening in Maryland, correct?
Yeah, it's my first year going there to see my friends. Actually, that con is actually like a pretty big cosplay con. So people actually dress up in like anime cosplays or video games cosplays in there. It happens in DC, and it's actually this weekend. Probably it's a little bit late for people to actually, try to book stuff to go there, but it's probably going to be worth a while.
So are you dressing up as anything? You going to be cosplaying as anything?
That's a hard topic. I'll be dressing up as I actually got myself like fursuit for that, so try it out, for fun.
Perfect. I mean, obviously, if you have a fursuit, you might as well wear it. It's still pretty cold, so it would totally work out in your favor when it comes to the cold. But speaking more about conventions, and I know we were kind of talking a little bit about this earlier, especially as we were continuously talking about projecting VRChat and the DJ community in a very very nice light and getting a better positive feedback based on that. And especially for the DJs that are in VRChat that want to do more IRL stuff, what do you think is something that they can work on? I would assume that at some point in time you've considered performing IRL at maybe some anime conventions or maybe IRL in general. What are some things that you think that you have to do to promote yourself to a lot of these gigs?
For me, I don't really have a good idea about that one because I really haven't think about it thoroughly. So I actually so last year for the Midwest Fur Fest, right? They were like having like an open DJ submission. I kind of tried it, but wasn't lucky enough for it. So yeah, I think for that, it's just like I actually have to, kind of like networking to know the event organizers and stuff like that. But, like those events are kind of big, so it might be hard and stuff like that to, I probably need to make a name of myself first in IRL before I can, actually go play there. But yeah, that was like some of my thoughts about it. What about you? I know you actually do a lot of live shows. So
yeah, it's kind of one of those topics that that I'm kind of curious a little bit about right now, especially because I did come off of Comic-Con in Alabama last week, and we were having some discussions with some of the owners and the president of the convention, comparable to not only they want to have that VRChat integration, and they know that there are some people that go to the convention that know about VRChat. But when it comes to bringing the light towards some other conventions that are also featuring anime stylings, it may be a little difficult to kind of bring up VRChat overall. And it's kind of a hard take because it's like, we know what we're doing in here and we know the type of vibes that we provide. But let's just say somebody wants to start kind of venturing out to seeing more DJs and seeing what the hype's all about. They type in VRChat in their browser search source, and then they get what they get, and it's kind of disheartening because it's like, as we've just been saying, a lot of YouTube videos have just been about shaking your hips, wiggling your hips, being a little sexy with it, especially up on Twitch as well. But they're also kind of showcasing the furs in a negative light. Like not everybody can get down with the furs, but those people that don't get down with the furs, that people know about it. But the fur community in general, they know what's good. But when it's time to kind of represent yourself in a more professional light with that, it's kind of a hard sell. So I wanted to kind of just kind of shine a little bit more light on this, especially because, again, there's a lot of people in the VR chat space that DJ, that they want to DJ IRL. But do you think that we should also incorporate VR chat as kind of like part of our resume when we do these IRL gigs? And if we do, how can we showcase it in a more positive light to someone who doesn't really know what's going on in here?
Yeah, most definitely. So I know some events actually, like IRL events, like what's the FWA? I forgot. Like for a weekend at Atlanta last year, I think they kind of had a portal for VRChat. You know, just like having like VRChat dancers, kind of like projecting their image on the stage kind of stuffs. I'm not entirely sure about it because I didn't go there. I think I heard it from a friend. So yeah, I know there are like a couple of events actually we'll try to do more kind of that kind of stuffs. I think it's a pretty good entry point for VRChat to be, you know, for people to know about VRChat that actually wanted to go to a rave in virtual space. And I know a lot of my friends actually went to a RL rave that my friend organized. The event was called Detour, hosted by Kupo Beat, and a lot of my homies went out there. For me, it's like it was kind of hard for me to fit that in my schedule, so I didn't go. So yeah, it was a really good RL event, and they also featured the VRChat portal, and they actually created a world for that. So it was kind of like you know. So they have the live stage, live dance floor cameras set up for people to see in the VRChat world, and also to party together. So they have cameras to see each other, that kind of stuffs.
It's kind of extraordinary. It's extraordinary and extraordinary because of the fact of the things that we do in VR space. We're comfortable with it. We know exactly how all of it goes down. And honestly, also too, this past weekend, after talking with a lot of the lighting guys, I was like, hey, you know, we're broadcasting this in Club Orion with the DMX lighting. Do you have a DMX controller? And they were looking at me like, we do. And I'm like, let's try to set. I mean, if you have time, we can set this up. And it kind of blew his mind a little bit over the fact that, you know, it's becoming so integrated. But again, because we're in our own little world here and we spend the thousands of dollars to have the headset and the full body tracking and whatever, we need to continue to find that nice little route to be able to showcase what we do in here to people that have never been in here. So what are some better examples that we can use? I mean, I know with Fur Weekend Atlanta, like that seems a little bit easier because the people that are furs in VRChat tend to go to those as well. So they already know it's good. They already have their community. But when you have an anime community that has overheard it, but want to ask questions about it, and they're just kind of hesitant about it, what is something that we can do for the future of our community to kind of aid in further success for a lot of the DJs that we have in here?
I would say, you know, like portal events for, you know, like setting up an IRL venue with a VR venue, that kind of portal event. It's definitely going to help a lot, you know, to get VRChat to be known to people. So if possible, I don't know if there's like any anime convention that would be willing to do that at the point. But yeah, if possible, if they get to set it up like that, it would be really great.
So you're saying that the VRChat should, in the future, kind of incorporate that more? I know that they did it at MagFest a couple of weeks ago, but that always seems to be kind of standard just for that convention alone. I think they've been doing it for 4 years or something like that. Real great success. And I really think that VRChat overall should be able to implement all of those. But where do you think that they should be heading? What other conventions? Do you think that they should have it at TwitchCon? Do you think that they should have it at what other conventions?
TwitchCon, of course.
Yeah, what other conventions do you think would work best?
I feel like TwitchCon would be like a really great opportunity. You know, just because this is definitely going to be like some kind of like a different kind of experience to like whatever they usually have right there. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or like stuffs like Katsucon going to, if if only they can have this, right? Have like the rave that's set up like this.
Well, see, it's at the same convention center as MagFest, so I would only assume that that would probably be a good place to put it, I suppose, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's really up to the event organizers' decisions and choices.
Now, of the fur community, you used to have said that you were part of the fur community here in VRChat, and of course, talking about fur events and stuff like that. One of the topics that kind of brisked my ears a little bit this past week, there was a genuine discussion and a topic that was brought up about the fur community in VRChat compared to the fur community IRL going to anime conventions. Do you find that a lot of those types of people that are part of the fur community in VRChat, they do go to a lot of the IRL events, and how do they interact with more people that try to bring them into VRChat?
You don't have to be exclusive to one community. It's not like you can only be a furry and you cannot. If you're a furry, it's not like if you're a furry and you cannot be you cannot also be in like anime community. It's not like that. Like a lot of things are like not mutually exclusive. Like everything are like it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. Like for me, it's like I'm part of like everything that feels cool for me. I'm fine with it. Like I can, I hang out with my furry friends. I hang out in the furry communities. I hang out with like the anime community as well. So for me, it doesn't really bother me at all. And yeah,
I think it was just a matter of those people that are interested in the fur community in here also understanding, because like I this is my past couple of years, the past 2 years, I've been getting more and more furs that come to my raves, and it's kind of a subtle question of just being like, is my music fur ready? Is it ready? Is it ready to bring the entire crowd? And I know we were kind of also focusing in on those types of conventions, how you were saying that you want to perform for those kind of conventions, but you don't quite have the resume for it quite yet.
Yeah.
And do you find that there is a subtle difference between, I mean, besides the speed, I suppose, from an anime rave comparable to a fur rave?
For me, I feel like usually what's on the those kind of conventions, like the raves, right? The music on the raves, like for those kind of conventions, are going to be more acceptable for the general audience. So it's going to be something like bass house, or like melodic kind of dubstep, or dance floor techno, dance floor drum and bass. Those kind of stuffs are going to definitely be trending a little bit more over there, just because you have to take care of people that are not super into like hard music, or they're not like super familiar with like those super intense kind of vibe. So yeah, they have to take those into account, but yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that.
Kind of feel like it's kind of just a mystery bag as we continue to shuffle up and try to get a better understanding of it. And it's not even, again, it's not just a matter of what we experience and how we experience it in here, but for those people that are in IRL communities that do go to these types of conventions, to find a common bridge. The common bridge is music. Like, it's just music. Like, yeah. You just go and you have a good time. But yeah. There are some genuine people that it's not even that they're nervous about integration. They're just kind of timid because they're timid because they don't know what might happen. Like, it's kind of like running into a mascot character at a theme park. Like, it's frowned upon that you go from, like, they're over here and you're over here and you're darting your way over for a hug. Like, it's kind of like that, but trying to bridge the community of raving and understanding music that can get people kind of nervous, comparable to, I don't know, let's just say you're in a fursuit and your eyesight's kind of stupid, and you bounce into someone when you don't mean to. But again, the questions continue to get asked. So that's kind of the reason of bringing it up, is just like, not everybody is still on. It's not even that they're not on board with it. They're just trying to get a better understanding and a better basis on it. And one of those questions this past weekend happened to be, what were your thoughts about the VRChat, the furs in VRChat? And the person who was doing the panel didn't really have an explanation based off of anything that could have happened or what would have happened. But it's also the kind of same scenario as if you were going to go to a fur rave in VRChat, might have a different vibe compared to some other type of rave that you have in here in the style of music that you perform. But it's interesting to hear about how you were saying bass house, some melodic tunes, and playing those types of vibes for that type of community. But as a DJ, you should ultimately be prepared for pretty much any type of vibe.
Like, what I'm saying is, like, like for people that actually, don't go to raves too much and they also want to vibe or want to have a good time at the RL shows, RL raves, at those conventions. Like, usually people, DJs or the event organizer would try to, set up the event or have the music to be, more generally acceptable. Like, everybody can vibe to, everybody can dance to. Those kind of stuffs are definitely going to be more popular there. Like, so to say, a safe choice.
I'm going to ask you a kind of a tricky question, but what do you think is starting to grow more? The general DJ populace or the fur populace in VRChat?
I feel like we don't need to draw like a very well-defined line over there, like, because they're all just like ravers. They're all just ravers like you and me. Like, they all enjoy music. Like, it doesn't matter what they are. Like, really, as long as they're as long as they just want to vibe, as long as they're like bringing the good vibes and having fun together, then there's really nothing wrong with it. So I don't think we should kind of separate draw the fine line between furries and the normal people. So I feel like they're all people.
Yeah.
They're all like, they're all my fellow ravers.
Of course, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we got plenty of clubs and plenty of music and plenty of events to go around that we need to just celebrate them all. And speaking of which, I know how you were saying that you do perform a lot of hard techno. What are some other genres in here that kind of surprised you? Either whether they're gaining more popularity or something that you find interesting that kind of caught your eye that you didn't think that you would kind of like.
Mid-tempo, definitely it's mid-tempo. Yeah, it all started with like one person really had the influence on me. He's called Vilan, and he does a lot of mid-tempo and kind of bass music, kind of live performing. So yeah, he does a lot of mid-tempo sets, and I was impressed like the first time when I heard it. So yeah, I kind of just like got into mid-tempo, and then there was like one night we were on the same lineup, so we had the entire event just mid-tempo only.
That seems like it's kind of a popular thing that's going to be happening very soon, right?
Yeah, and surprisingly, I feel like most people can vibe with it, and it's definitely nothing like it's not really a hard thing to to accept, to be acceptable to like normal people, and yeah, it's a good vibe.
Awesome.
And all I wanted to say is just like I want people to to be open-minded, to try out new music, new stuffs. There's gonna be surprises, definitely.
I know one of those topics that we love to talk a little bit about, the fact that there's so many clubs, there's so many events, there's so many styles of music, and very awesome performers, some very great DJs coming in. Again, whether or not they're first starting, or they have tons of years of experience, or maybe they're just trying a brand new genre, which is always a very tough road to walk down, especially if you're not versed in a specific genre. But once you get into it, you gotta perform it to the best of your ability. But speaking of all the different clubs and all of the different things, I want to kind of go down the route of your journey of understanding all of the different clubs that you have performed, some of your favorite clubs, if you would like to announce those, and maybe talk a little bit about this residency that you have at Nuzzle. I know Nuzzle kind of brought you in, and you tend to perform there a lot.
Yeah. So back in the time when Nuzzle was actually doing like so many events a week, and because they actually provide a lot of varieties and stuff like that. They have like house themed Sunday for house music enjoyers or just for chill vibes in general, and they will have like stuff like drum and bass night or hard techno nights, or just like open genre nights. That was like one of was like, yeah, I enjoy it. It's like the variety of it just like makes me really enjoying that.
So when it comes to performing for Nuzzle, I know that you do a lot of different Nuzzle events. I actually find you a lot at Nuzzle events whenever I either kind of pop in to see who's playing or what's going on. But and based off of the type of like aggressive popularity that you've been gaining lately, how has it been for people to kind of approach you for bookings? Do you kind of scour the different Discords to find more events to? I mean, obviously, again, because it's something I think a lot of people need to continue to remember is that you work full time. So trying to find that time to find those bookings, do you get approached enough? Do you get approached a lot?
I have my friends and like event hosts just like come up to me randomly, just asking me if I'm available for some period of time. Usually the answer is yes, unless I actually have other stuff to do, like for example this weekend. So yeah, usually people will come up to me to ask me if I want to play at here. And sometimes when I see my if my friends are playing at one place, and if I wanted to be like, hey, I wanted to be on the lineup too, just to be just to be there, to be on the same lineup, I would like ask the organizer, say, hey, can I play?
That's a perfect way. That's how networking usually goes. You find someone that knows somebody, and then you kind of be like, okay, let's give them a shot and get them on the lineup there. But do you find that like even earlier on, did you kind of have to scour Discords or go to different clubs and join the club's Discords to kind of get a better basis of how you even started to start performing?
Earlier, I do a lot of open decks and stuff like that, just like, after the official lineup. And I would do open decks. And that's how I knew a lot of great DJs and great people. It was like a really fun time, actually. But just because I wanted to, have a better sleeping schedule and stuff like that, so I kind of don't do it anymore. If I quit my job, I would totally do that a lot. Like,
just take all the open deck slots and just go and perform and have a good time with it.
Yeah.
What were the first couple of clubs that you got to perform when you were in VRChat? If you don't mind.
I think it was Nuzzle Squad actually, and then Hypothetical as well. Yeah.
Seems like
just Skippy and Maverick. Yeah, those people.
It always seems like such a magical story of it just being like, it worked, we're with it, this is what we're doing, and then it just like a happy ending straight off the gate. But it works for people, it works for some people, and it just happens to work out, and then you kind of just fill the spot there. But what do you think that some people that are genuinely interested and looking for bookings and stuff like that, how would you approach it in the future if you were just starting out, especially now that we have a lot of people?
Usually I would recommend people to play actually. So I actually recommended like a few friends to play at a couple places. So yeah, for me it's like if people actually kind of to know like how it is to performing VR, or if they actually have like something already, like kind of like mixtape for me already. So I would listen to it and then it was like recommended to some venues I'm familiar with. So usually that's what I do. But a lot of times I will recommend new people to find bookings and stuff like that. Just reach out. Honestly, nobody's gonna be like, no, you're not cool enough.
I know it seems like a very easy process, and again, like you said, that there's usually never anybody out there trying to ruin your day or trying to be like, no, you're not worthy, or no, you're not worthy. You know what I mean? But like, we have the experiences here for you. Yeah. But I know recently I've been kind of talking to a lot of other clubs, which we're going to continue on with this process in the next month or so, about kind of an understanding, especially because those people that do perform, they come into VRChat, they'll come into an event. Let's just say they're coming to see you perform. But it always seems like they're so timid or anxious or something to be able to approach someone that owns the club. And I know in our minds, it seems easy. It seems like, oh, you go to the event, you see the person, you go up to them, and you don't really know what to say or how to even promote yourself or something like that. But do you have any advice for anyone that's looking to do that, especially now? I know everyone seems to be pretty approachable, but what are some helpful tips that you can kind of get the ball rolling besides the corny meme, like how much does a polar bear weigh, enough to break the ice, kind of a dad joke?
Yeah. Usually, if I wanted to play at somewhere, I would kind of like ask them like what they usually, what kind of vibe they usually have. I know a lot of clubs are not specialized in like like a specific type of genre. But that's like one thing nice to ask, anyways. But yeah, it can actually kind of break the ice too. So if you think about it, just kind of like maybe like ask the host about like how the events are like, came together, or like what they have planned to what other stuffs they have planned for like the upcoming future and stuff like that. Kind of just like asking around. It's not gonna hurt.
I'm going to seem like this is going to be a very complicated question, but where do you kind of see the DJ community continue to grow comparable to like earlier on 2020? Do you think that we're on the right pace? Do you think that there's plenty of talent? Do you think that there's too much talent? And where do you see a lot of the upcoming DJs want to kind of continue on with their careers when it comes to performing in here?
Everybody gets a fair chance here, right? So for me, it's like it's really nice to see new people at different venues I usually go to. It usually kind of like gives me surprises and stuff like that. And I will also encourage my friends to play. And I I know like I have actually a couple friends that are actually getting into DJing and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a really addictive thing for me, at least. It's not like a bad kind of addiction, but it's a healthy addiction, so to say. Yeah.
So you would see, like, I think this is something that it seems so elementary to us. It seems that we already kind of know this, but it's always good to kind of go back, revisit it, get a better understanding, especially for those people that are even watching the replay up on YouTube afterwards, and kind of understanding how to become a DJ in VR and the scene that we currently have comparable to the type of bookings that you can get. And I know we go back and forth, a lot of us in our community, of understanding it's not even just a matter of, oh, I need to get booked for this really big event, for this really big festival, or try to talk to as many people as possible. But it is just as simple as coming in here and just like opening up an instance and setting yourself free, going on there, performing music for complete strangers, or even a whole bunch of your friends and stuff like that. Have you had those opportunities while you were in here too?
For me, a lot of times I feel like I would enjoy more to actually DJ for a small group of friends, just because I can actually just like talk to them, kind of like interacting with them. Just like I don't even have my monitor on. I would just listen to the world volume to do like transitions and stuff.
Do you find it kind of harder? Do you find it kind of harder to like perform for like an event? Like obviously the time frame is like maybe just 1 hour or something like that. But do you find that to be kind of stressful a little bit?
For me, I really don't have really too much stress. Like when I talk about like finding the next song to play, right? That's like the moment of heat. But yeah, it's nothing like really kind of like something that really bothers me. Usually I don't get super anxious about stuffs or like events I have to play. For me, it's like if I'm playing for like a smaller events, I would just like toss more random stuffs here and there. But for like some places with like more like music focused or heavy music focused, I would try to bring the best out. Kind of like I would just like actually have my monitors in, completely sink myself into music and try to give my best.
Well, talk to us a little bit about that. Like how you were saying that a lot of your sets are impromptu. Like you kind of just go in there and just start playing, and then you kind of go off of your ear and your knowledge of what songs are going to come next. Do you do that more than trying to pre-plan your music for a specific event?
For me, it's like 50-50 kind of mixture. I usually prep tracks more than prep a set. So for me, it's like if I prep the track, so I know like like where to bring it in, that kind of stuff. Will really like just help me. And if I just like fix the grids and stuff, so if I don't have time to actually do the beat matching with my ears, with like a very short period of time, like prepping tracks are really important for me. So it really saved me a lot when I'm actually doing like those kind of random sets. For me, it's like energy. It's like a very important thing for me. I usually mix my stuffs heavily, just depending on like the track's energy, instead of just like like the genre I'm playing. So I would kind of just like bring like it's kind of like a stir fry of like all kinds of music. I will have like hard techno, drum and bass, or even dubsteps, like speed house, like a lot of other things just mixed together in like one set. It's nothing bad at all. It's just like really, for me, it's just like the most important stuff is just like keep the energy going, carrying the flow.
Do you find that that's good practice for future DJs that are coming into VRChat? Because I feel like a lot of people, when they do come in here for the first time and they're playing their first couple of whatevers, they do a little bit of planning ahead on what the music that they do want to play, or they kind of make a crate that kind of gives you like straight up 1 hour of music, and then you kind of go from top to bottom. What kind of recommendations do you have off that? I think that's I think from the outside looking in, some people might get a little scared on that concept of just being like, oh, I'm just going to go in and just, do the thing. And I think that you have enough skills to be able to just do the thing.
Really important thing is to build your music library. So when you're like first starting, won't expect you to have like so much music to just, go off randomly, to still keep the energy and stuff like that. Usually I would just try to like, for new people, prep a set is definitely a good thing to do. It gives you the general understanding of like how DJing works, and it really just like helps you to get familiar with the software you're using and be comfortable with it. That's the most important part, actually. And you can also learn from your mistakes and stuff like that. It's like there's like really no mistakes are not recoverable. Just try it, to be honest. Just give it your best shot.
I know it always seems like a little bit of a hot take, but you want to tell everybody what type of hardware software you use and what you would recommend?
It's not really a hot take, but yeah. For me, it's like I would go with the so for software, right? I would go with like for me, I was like already familiar with the setup for Serato, so I went with Serato, and then I found it really helpful to have Rekordbox as well to prep tracks, to prep music for for USB, for like if I'm actually just gonna bring my USB to somewhere else to plug it in. Yeah, that would be really helpful if I just want to use Rekordbox for that. So that's like one thing I would usually do. So I kind of use like both. And some other times I will like, maybe I want to do this set with my Rekordbox, and most of the time I use my Serato. For me, it's really just a personal preference. There isn't no good or bad about it. I know Serato has like a couple hiccups here and there sometimes, like some interesting bugs. Sometimes frustrating, but yeah, it's really just a personal preference. But Serato also has like some awesome feature, like the stem feature is probably by far the best, I would say.
I know the reason why I kind of said a little bit of a hot take is it's never. I mean, I know back in VRChat, it used to be kind of like what kind of headset you have, and then those people that have a specific type of headset, they're just like, oh, you got an Oculus, oh, you got a Vive, oh, you got mixed reality, and it's just like that's annoying, like that's super annoying. But when it comes to like the DJing, I feel like it's very subtle. It's not meant to be like demeaning or anything like that, but you got the people that do use Serato, people who use Rekordbox, people that use a controller comparable if they have money for CDJs, or for people that use Virtual DJ or Tractor or any other type of console or anything like that. I mean, hell, we had Matty Rage in here. He was explaining how he was operating off of a MIDI keyboard for a little while, and I was just like, that floored me. But at the same time too, like these are the kind of the interesting things to kind of discuss, because again, while I think a lot of people in the industry know that Rekordbox and Serato can be industry standard, that doesn't mean that you can't not want to use Tractor or Virtual DJ as well, depending on what you decide to do.
Exactly.
And especially in here too, I think it all boils down to how expensive you want to spend on a controller or a device. Like I think the newer kids, when they do come in here, I feel like they would be upset if they bought the small console, and that's never the case, right?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are comfortable with, like, when people are asking me, like, right, if I want to start DJing, what kind of controllers should I get, right? My answer is always gonna be like FLX4. Like, trust me, that thing is probably the best beginner stuff. And so like a lot of times, it's just like I know a lot of people that are like really comfortable with FLX4, and just like I actually know a few great DJs that actually just use FLX4. It's nothing bad. It really isn't. Like, it's really just a tool, like a tool that you're comfortable with, and the tool that you actually enjoy, and you want to use for now, or you just like don't have enough budget for it, for like a next upgrade or things like that. It really isn't anything like that people should be judged based upon. Like really, what's important is just like the music, and music is just a form of art. People, like, million people have million ways of expressing it, so there is no right or wrong.
I think one of the questions I think that we don't really talk too much about is, where do you think the time to upgrade should be? Like, when you have the FLX4 and you're working it, I mean, outside of the budget, like, obviously, if you have the money, when do you think is a good turning point on what, you've mastered this, when can you go to the next thing?
So so for me, when I had when I first started, I had a FLX4, and then I went into FLX10. So for me, when I first started with FLX4, it was great. I liked it a lot. And then I ran into the issue that I cannot use a third track or a fourth track. So I was like, maybe I should get an upgrade. That was like the turning point for me, because like I was really comfortable with track 1, track 2 already. So bringing like track 3 and track 4 just to add extra layers or do some fancy cool stuffs, that's gonna just like something that I wanted to try out. So I got the FLX10.
I bet you messed up a couple of times when you had the third and the fourth, and you were trying to do all four at the same time, right?
Yeah, FLX10 sometimes have like I sometimes confuse like my track 1 with track 3 or track 2 with track 4. So I was like, hold on, I pressed the play button. Which one did I press the play button? Was it the track 1 or track 3? Yeah, like that. Sometimes just like accidentally hit the FX, the pad FX on like something. It's like,
I know we get to a point where we see a lot of people when they go to EDC or Ultra, and we see them performing on either like 4 decks or, God forbid, they have like 6 decks or something, and they're doing all these tricks, and then you're sitting there like, all right, I just got the 4. How do we do this? And you want to be that level, but at the same time, you're just like, they don't even know what they're doing. They're just over there pushing all the buttons and whatever. But that's the process, right?
Like that's not important. Just it's maybe cool to watch, but like what matters to me the most is actually the music I'm hearing. So,
and that's what it should be here, especially in VRChat. But for those people at home, this is VRCDJLIVE. We're sitting here with Carroussel, kind of just chewing at the bit, trying to figure out some fun topics and fun things going on in VRChat to discuss. And I know one of the things that we'll continue to kind of openly discuss it, because I think after a while, as we get more topics to talk about, more things to talk about, obviously we'll talk about the camera system in a moment. But we were kind of discussing a little bit about Twitch, and we were discussing a little bit about the DJ program that was set up back in August and how it continues to ramp up the whole paying into the premium for the DJ program, as well as providing a space for the DJs and performing. And we were kind of going a little bit back and forth with Carroussel about all the different factors that we can set aside in virtual space, like the VRCDN, and being able to integrate that with a lot of other social medias that we have. And as you can clearly see on the screen, being able to see all the content that Carroussel has up on YouTube, that's kind of a big thing. We were kind of talking a little bit about maybe the future of streaming platforms. I know when the DJ program was first coming out, or even before then, how Monster Cat had the whole gold thing of being able to, like, you buy into the gold and then you can get DMCA free streams or something like that. Considering some of the content that you post up on YouTube and a lot of your mixes that you post on there, comparable to maybe SoundCloud or even Mixcloud or what have you, what are your thoughts on all of that? And I know we were also talking about Kick, which is a very interesting thing, because I think, again, it's only been 2 months into 2025, but you're either streaming on Kick or you're not thinking of Kick.
yeah, exactly.
So tell me a little bit about all those different things, all those different avenues that you could choose to do all of the things that we're doing in here currently.
Yeah, I know one thing. If you just want to focus on in VRChat exclusively, go for VRCDN. It's a really cheap monthly subscription. It really satisfies your needs. Really, it's just it helps you deliver very low latency content to all of your viewers in the same world. It's a really great thing to do. And also for me, it's I have it set up to forward the stream also to Twitch as well. So for me, it's you have two ways now to actually get the content. You can either be in the same world with me and then listen to VRCDN or the world player, or you can try to go into the my Twitch, and then you can also see the contents there, but you won't be able to see all the awesome people I'm with right now. So that's one thing. But for Twitch though, there's a very big problem. That's that DJ program. I know where they're coming from. Because all the artists are, I think they deserve to get a fair share of the revenue for their hard work and stuff like that. But for smaller DJs like me, a lot of other people out there, it's really hard to say it's worth it, to be honest. And that's why probably you should look into alternatives Kicks, like we talked about earlier before this even started, right? Because I know Kicks actually has a less strict content policies, so there might be a place for it right now. It might change. I don't know. We don't know. So yeah. So for me, it's before they rolled out the Twitch DJing program, I had a lot of VODs in my Twitch channel, and then they all got taken down. They all disappeared magically. Yeah, and then I just don't want to risk it anymore, so I didn't post anything anymore after that. A lot of things are just on SoundCloud and on YouTube. For YouTube though, every now and then I get copyright blocked. It happens, right? So yeah, it's also not a really good source either, and you cannot monetize on it. That's one thing really important for a lot of people I know. So yeah.
It's kind of it's an ongoing topic. It's something that I think that, especially as the DJ program was getting unveiled, something that I was genuinely having content, topics to talk about with a lot of the DJs that were in here, especially for those people that live outside of the US, just because a lot of the TOS would be integrated within them as well, being a US based company. But at the same time, this is our economy. This is where we live. This is where we make our money. This is where we provide the content. This is where we also hang out and kind of showcase what we do here. So all of this is super important. Not saying that it's here to divide us, but it's just a matter of kind of getting an understanding of where everybody is going to be headed and what we want to be doing, especially with all of these different sources. And I know one of the things we were bringing up is just that fact of Kick. Like I think a lot of people, well, especially the people that watch Twitch a lot, they're not proactively trying to think about Kick or what Kick's up to, comparable to what you could hear up on social media. And that alone too is they got a lot of people that are constantly making content. I ran into a guy who makes a lot of his content on YouTube, but I've always known him through TikTok. And there was kind of a little bit of a bug of a rumor saying like you can get a lot more viewership and a lot more attention if you stream on TikTok. And I'm sitting here like how aggressive does this actually have to be? Considering yes, some people do want to get paid. Some people want to get some sort of revenue for the stuff that they're doing in VRChat. Comparable to even, within the Twitch DJ program, you got IRL DJs. You got DJs that are performing on Tribe. You got people that are legit still streaming on Facebook. And I'm just like, that's mind numbing to me because I wouldn't have never thought about that too. But I mean, your family members wants that as well. So kind of looking at the future of things, I know there's still a lot of DJs in the VRChat scene that haven't kind of gone into the DJ program on Twitch, just because of, them taking some of your revenue as a premium to have DMCA streams. But comparable to the VRCDN, where again, low latency, being able to perform in here, everybody's on the same page. Kind of foreshadowing, where do you think that the next big venture is going to lead us in 2025?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like there's probably going to be like something big in the DMCA change. Just because like everything's like getting updated, renewing, like the technology is getting renewed so fast, and it's gonna be hard for them to keep up if they don't renew it, if they don't change anything about it. So, like a lot of times I feel like it's like the Twitch DJ program. It's a good thing. It's a good thing if they actually implemented it right. Yeah.
And just that, basically, that I think is got to implement. I mean, they still got plenty of time to continue to focus their energies and understandings of what they're trying to kind of come up with there.
Yeah, if they can make it into like a tier-based kind of thing, it would be kind of good. Like for like smaller content creators, they give like a kind of like a smaller discount, like a discount for them or something like that. It's not gonna be a bad thing. Like for like bigger ones, it's like it's all right. They're definitely not gonna care about like if they just up the price a little bit for them.
Now
it's totally worth it for them still.
Another kind of a sneaky little topic about this particular thing, the DJing on social media and DJing on a social platform like Twitch. If you haven't seen, or the people at home haven't seen, but on the DJ program, there are kind of three major outlets when it comes to DJing on the platform. You have the IRL DJs. Obviously, they're kind of doing what they're doing, and trying to showcase what they're doing. You got the VRChat DJs. Obviously, us coming in here and kind of showcasing what we got going on here. But then there's a whole economy in Final Fantasy 14 Online when it comes to DJing for that as well. And one of the fun, tricky things that we're going to continuously talk about, probably till the end of time, we're going to continue to talk about it until it's done, but is trying to find a common stomping ground when it comes to all of this. Because I feel like, especially as VRChat is continuously changing and continuously showcasing the content that they do on the VRChat category on Twitch, is us as DJs showcasing what we can in the DJ category for the IRL people, for the people in Final Fantasy, to see if we can't get them to come in, or again, if we end up doing IRL stuff and we do, we join the IRL people, but even having the IRL people come in and enjoy us in here. So where do you think this common ground is going to lie upon? Do you think we're going to maybe gain the interest of a lot of IRL DJs to kind of come in here and see what we got cooking in here?
I think so, yeah. Because I know some IRL DJs like explorers of the internet, they actually played sets in VRChat before. So I feel like a really good thing to do is just like really make ourselves like make the entire community be heard out there. So it's not just a single person's effort. It's not an effort for just you or just me. It's like everybody's effort to make it out there to kind of like give out this positive narrative and to bring people in here. I feel like stuffs like portal events would be really helpful to set it up for our people for people who have never heard about VRChat to kind of like to hook their interest, to get them interested into like coming here to check it out at least.
I mean, I know you were bringing up portal events earlier on in the show, and it seems like that could genuinely be it. I know we keep going back and forth too, especially with the new kids from the holidays that got their Oculus, and they're coming in here, and of course, even with an Oculus, it's so good. It's so good that we have the age verification nowadays, but also too kind of a strange place because we're not used to that. And even getting a better understanding, and even asking the question for you too, that something that we're constantly trying to understand is how is the age verification going to be implemented in VRChat for even just our, I mean, I think we all know where it's going, but as far as the DJ community is going, do you think that we're going to rely heavily on the age verification in the future?
I feel like age verification, it's a good thing in general. But I'm like kind of neutral on the idea of barring age verification for barring people for not having age verified to enter like DJing events and stuff like that. I feel like really though people are really just wanting to enjoy the music, enjoy the vibe. I feel like even like minors, right? They can. And I think they should enjoy music, should be able to like be exposed to this kind of stuff. And usually I would just like, I would encourage people to kind of like, get into things they are not really used to and, like music, right? It's going to be like a really good thing to trying to get into when they're like young. You might get a new talent. You might get a new like Alan Walker or something like that. You never know, right? If you actually got their interest up. So the thing is like, for age verification, it's generally a good thing. Like, but I don't think for DJing events, unless you're really just labeled that it's like, if your events are going to be like exclusively for adults or exclusively for not safe for work, then yeah, of course.
I know it's something that we've all kind of really wanted to happen, but then we kind of, besides the whole sexy part of that type of content, I think a lot of us haven't really thought too much farther out on the type of 18 plus type of content, the spicier content that could be provided in here. I know we recently had Subsystem in here. We were talking about age verification, and Merle's brought up a really good point, and you brought up that same type of point of just being like, I mean, how much sexier can the club be in VRChat minus people running around being naked? There's nothing past that besides maybe some swearing in the music. Like, so having an age verification attached to a club event, it doesn't seem like it would fit because you do want to get as many people in, but at the same time, you can't have everybody a part of that program, that age verification program, not because they don't want to do it, not because of their age restriction, but just because it's like, again, we're all doing it for the music and we're all doing it to experience that. So it kind of lies, I mean, the real question is, where does the age verification lie in which clubs? But I also don't want to state that question because I think we know what the answer is. We all know what type of content you're going to get if you're putting together an age verification kind of group. But, is it really going to be necessary in the future for the DJ community?
It's not a necessity. It's good to have, not a necessity. So for like events like like general events like if you're like hosting like a festival, I hope that's not going to be age verified to be able to attend, right? Because you really wanted to have people to actually like enjoy the music, not just because not be discriminated against, right? Just because they're like they're just younger than you, right?
I feel like if you were gonna do anything as far as a verification is just to make sure that your computer's powerful enough to actually be there. However, if you want to go in and put on your safety settings where everyone's potato mode, I mean that is an option. But again, you don't want to be outed because you have a potato. But at the same time, you should already know that if you're gonna go to a festival, you're not gonna be going in on your phone. On your mobile phone. Like you're gonna want to be able to see everybody. You want to get a nice headset, nice at least put that into a verification as opposed to an age thing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times like a general avatar restriction would be like a good thing to have, honestly. You wanted to have like some avatars that are like better than very poor, right? And then that would really, really help everybody's performance. Like, I know a lot of EU clubs actually do that, like actually impose really strict avatar performance restrictions, and that actually help people to have like smooth clubbing, like smooth FPS clubbing. Like, yeah, that's like one thing I really enjoy about going to EU events, just because I can actually move around without lagging.
Do you find that
like
there are some club venues that offer like their green version of avatars, and I've only experienced maybe one club or one event where they had some staff kind of like telling you to go change into something different. But obviously there's a lot of people that are just like, I don't have anything prepared, nothing ready, but they also don't want to be the avatar that they provide. Do you think that's the right path to kind of take, or where do you think that most clubs should start relying on the type of avatars that they can provide to make sure that the event is good for everybody and that you can wear something that you feel comfortable in that's not a meme?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times it's like it kind of like, when this avatar restrictions kind of thing, I first heard of it, it kind of pushed my creativity. I was like, oh, there are like events that I have to, being poor or better kind of avatar to go into. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna optimize my avatar. It usually doesn't take too much work for me, at least. It's just like I just like throw it into Blender and then do like 1 hour, 2 hours, and then done. Import it back in and then throw everything back. And then it's a better avatar now. It's a better performance avatar now. So I actually know somebody that actually did that not long ago. It kind of like pushes people's creativity and stuff like that. I think it's a good thing. But avatar restrictions, it's not a necessity either. It's good to have, but not a necessity. Just because like some people actually wanted to be able to properly express themselves, but like just due to like time constraints, they didn't have time to get to create better performance avatar or something like that. I feel like it's just a nice thing to have for like avatar restrictions, not a necessity either.
I think
it helps with my FPS, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah, and making sure that when you're partying, that everyone's having a good time too. But of course, as we all have safety settings on, it's a weird like disassociation, because again, when people are complaining that they can't see everybody, you can put on your safety settings, or if you're lagging, you can do that, but it does hinder your experience a little bit. But at the same time, too, it's just like you really don't want to be pressuring too many people to get out of their identity. Something that they self-identify themselves as, just for like a potato, or some other type of some sort of
like a banana man.
Yeah, well, like you switch you over to banana man, raver banana man, which honestly I would love to have if someone made that. If it was like a raver banana, I'd be totally down for that. But but I don't know. It's like we need to like focus in on that. It's not priority, but at the same time, who's going to be the first to start that kind of a process? Not saying that we're bringing memes back into the rave scene. I mean, there's a time and place for that, but I think it'd be just a topic that we can continuously talk about within the community to see if we can't try to figure out a better solution, as opposed to, oh, you're not green or medium or something, get out of here. Like that's I mean, it's rude. I mean, there are some
Yeah.
rules that you have to follow, sure, but at the same time, that like this is something that we have to kind of culminate and continue to think about.
I feel like that like avatar shouldn't be like one thing people getting discriminated against either. So yeah, I agree with you on that, definitely. And also, I feel like there's one thing VRChat can definitely do. It's that update their performance rankings. I feel like sometimes 75k polygon, it's a little bit too strict. Right.
Especially with the newer avatars coming out and more, I don't want to say like 8K textured avatars, but like it's hard to deny that that's here. Like it's here. Like we got to kind of focus more attention on it. But again, I'm not the type of guy that could sit here and understand the complexities of what can be acceptable in a world compared to how many people that are in it. I feel like that you would need some sort of data for that. But I agree with you. Be able to restructure the settings a little bit looser, loosen up those restrictions.
Yeah.
Now we do have just a significant amount of time left for the program, but I kind of wanted to throw a monkey wrench into this because we're on the topic right now. But it always seems like club etiquette is always such a hot topic to talk about. And having people come in, whether you're an experienced raver or a new user coming in, what are some things that you've seen when you do perform that kind of you don't like, that you would love to change outside of the whole avatar that's very poor and it's got all the things flying out of it? Considered to maybe kind of a helpful tool to some new users that come in that want to rave with a big crowd.
I feel like a lot of times it's just like people have to be comfortable with like their like the clubs they go into, right? Or like the music they I'm not saying like they're bad music or anything like that, just because a lot of times people are like kind of like got so hooked into like one genre of music that they kind of just become like uninterested in like a lot of other things. So I feel like a lot of times people should actually, I just want to encourage people to actually get out of their comfort zone, to try new stuffs. There's gotta be like good experience out there, like good stuffs out there for you to discover. It's not a guaranteed stuff for you to like. It's not like guaranteed like if you trust me, bro, just listen to hard techno, you're gonna like it. It's not like, but yeah, just like. Sometimes you actually have to, learn to enjoy it. For me, it's like, it was kind of hard at the start though. It was kind of hard for me to get into genre like 140, and now I actually started to enjoying it. So yeah.
What about people that are coming to the clubs and they want to interact with the DJ? What kind of a club etiquette would you think? I mean, obviously, from each DJ to DJ, they've got things that they don't like people approaching them. Some people are approachable, or like, let's just say you're performing. What kind of club etiquette should people understand when you're performing?
Things like just don't be in like an annoying avatar. Kind of like, well, it ruins everybody else's visuals. That kind of stuff, or like a disturbing avatar. That's like just like be a decent person, kind of thing, and also don't be like interrupting like other people's stuffs, like other people's performance. I think that would be very important. But personally, I don't mind people coming up to me to like talk to me and stuff like that. Usually it's not a big deal for me. Like for me, it's like sometimes when I'm playing music, I would love to have somebody to chat to as well. I don't know, maybe it's just my ADHD mind.
It's a fun little thing to talk about, just because I know at TwitchCon this past year, and again, in my mind, I know exactly what I need to do. And I think a lot of people, when they come in here and they want to like hang out at a performance or see a DJ or talk to their friends, they go to an event or something like that, they kind of have an idea too. But when you I'm laughing a little bit because it's like, okay, at TwitchCon this past year, for example, we had a lot of VRChat people there. And for most of them, it was kind of their first time like experiencing people IRL. And it's not just, I'm not saying that as if like they never leave their house and they never interact with anybody ever, but like this is the first time that they get to hang out with their friends IRL, you know, flesh to flesh, compared to like in VRChat or something like that. So I'm laughing because we've had a club experience at TwitchCon this past year, and having people go to an actual club and drink an actual drink and hang out with their friends and listen to music and stuff like that. And the type of like etiquette that you would get in here literally just gets thrown out the window, because you got these people that don't genuinely go to a club. They don't know how to dance, or they don't know how to dance properly, I guess, or how to interact, or how to interact with other people while they're dancing too. So learning about that IRL comparable to like the stuff that you do in here, two different avenues, two different worlds, when understanding that. But, you know, within our community, I feel like we should be able to prepare the next generation of people that either A, haven't been to a club, or give them a better understanding of how club etiquette goes. You know, especially if you go to an IRL event with a DJ up on stage, it's very rare that you can go up to them and just be like, hey, I got a request, play Bad Bunny or something like that, as opposed to doing it in VRChat where you can legit block them or legit mute them or something.
Yeah. Sometimes I get like people actually come up to me to ask if I can play some songs. Like I will actually do it. Like it's really not a bad thing, to be honest. I don't think it should be like I don't think like, you know, it should be taken to a point where I'm not approachable while playing music or stuff like that. You know, I want people to enjoy it, to have fun. I don't want to just like give them the cold look or the cold face, just tell them to get the hell out of here or something like that. No, it's not. It's not right. Yeah.
I mean, there's always a time and a place where you can, take them aside, say, listen, hey, you know, if you want to have some discussions about like DJing, or, you know, asking me a bunch of questions or something like that. I mean, obviously that'd be kind of the place to do that. But again, these are the types of things that I think a lot of people need to know, especially for those people that are coming into VR for the first time, or they get to experience, let's just say, a YouTube video about the rave scene, or they heard it from a friend, as like a lot of your colleagues, you know, trying to get into VR to just have a decent time and get to explore. Outside of mid-tempo and hard techno, what are some other, I know we kind of talked a little bit about more genres that you get to experience. Do you think that there'll be a more popular genre this year outside of hard techno and mid-tempo?
Popular genres, I feel like it's always got to be drum and bass and maybe house music. Yeah.
So it'll be kind of a fight of drum and bass and house this year?
Not necessarily a fight. I feel like drum and bass is definitely gonna win this, but yeah. It's just like, you know, I like drum and bass, but sometimes I would also appreciate like a little bit more of diversity. To be honest, like I would actually be so happy if people actually start to pay more attention to stuff like psytrance, trance, hard trance, and stuffs like that.
Of course, that's definitely a vibe, and I mean,
it's just my personal opinion.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it has to be validated, you know, like everyone's got an opinion on things, but at the same time too, like you don't understand how awesome psytrance can be if you come in here and do that specific type of vibe. It kind of reminds me a lot of like when you get your VR and you want to relax, so you just lay on the floor in your VR and just kind of. That's it. Or like let's just say you're studying and you're listening to lo-fi music, like that's the vibe. It's just trying to get you to vibe out for a little bit. But
so
go ahead.
What I wanted to say is just like trying to, like, people should try to, you know, be more open-minded, explore other kind of music. There's got to be something out there you also like too. It's not like if you like one thing, you just shouldn't like any other things. It's not like loyalty, that kind of stuff. But yeah.
No, well, what you're actually saying is that more people need to see a Carroussel set.
Nah, not really.
Be more open-minded. Go see Carroussel perform. Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying. Yeah.
But no, I mean, you're right. I mean, you should definitely find some time to, like, even tonight, you know, after the show tonight, and while we're on Twitch, take a look at the timeline. Go on VRChat. go see some cool DJs. I think some cool DJs are performing for like another 3 hours or something like that. And broaden your horizons when it comes to this type of music, because, you know, while drum and bass is cool, and if let's just say you have an allegiance to drum and bass, maybe you'll find something even better to kind of wet the whistle, if you might kind of go down that route.
Yeah.
We're just coming up short on the remaining time of the show here on VRC DJ Live, but I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the happenings, not only for tomorrow, but for this weekend too. And this is where it gets a little sensual, spicy for Carroussel here, because I'm going to kind of throw you under the bus here. But Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What are your plans? What are you doing? What's going to be? What are you doing the whole day of Valentine's Day?
I will be going to Katsucon to hang out with my friends. Of course, bros before hoes. I'm just kidding.
Depends on what the bros are doing, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, how you got to get down to Katsucon?
I'm gonna be flying, and weather's gonna be a really big challenge.
No, not how you gonna get to Katsucon. How you gonna get down?
Get down
at Katsucon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't know. We'll figure it out when I'm drunk enough.
Yeah, it's very nice to see a lot of people involved with Valentine's Day. I know for me, it's more of just kind of like a Hallmark holiday. Kind of just like, you know, you buy some gifts to give to some people, but. How do you usually celebrate Valentine's Day, or even like the younger Carroussel? Did you kind of crush on someone? Did you kind of give out some chocolate hearts or some, I don't know, balloons or something? What's the romantic side of Carroussel? That's kind of what I'm asking.
Previous years, I would just go on to have some quality time with my Valentine. You know, like stuff like that. Yeah. Kind of like watching movies, hanging out, just really nothing too much. Just like pretty chill time, pretty quality time. That's it.
It used to be like those Netflix and chill moments.
Netflix and chill, yeah, likely.
I mean, now it's a little different. You know, it's funny because like even coming into VRChat a couple of years ago, it always seemed like everybody had their Valentine's avatars created, or you have like romantic little like e-dating, kind of like coming in here role playing some sort of an eat date thing. But I know there's a lot of different events happening this weekend as far as having love in the air and stuff like that. But how do you forecast that? How do you forecast to see what type of events are happening in VRChat? And do you think that people are genuinely looking to like hook up?
I feel like, yeah, some people are gonna be memeing, you know, like bro says it's gonna be a meme, but it turned out to be a serious thing. That's probably gonna happen as well. You know, you never know.
I mean, you find love in all different places, right? I mean, like, let's just say you have a bunch of memers and they're getting together. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that I'm proactively looking for like a video of a romantic Uganda Knuckles dinner date night, but at the same time, I kind of want to see it because, I mean, it would be gross, but it would be awesome and cute. So, Or do you think that people would be gifting VRC Plus for a month? Do you think that would be a very romantic gift for Valentine's Day?
To me, I wouldn't think so, to be honest. But I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a traditional kind of person when it comes to like sending gifts and stuffs. I would try to gift like special things I have, or like something I made, or like a gift card, or maybe chocolates or stuff like that.
I mean, those are still kind of romantic, right? I mean, being able to gift those cheeky.
I kind of want it to be like special, you know. Like maybe I would kind of like do something like do it yourself kind of work. It's just like it doesn't have to be expensive, but I just want it to be special.
It's funny how all the cheesy stuff is out. Like, you know, you do the chocolates, or you do the roses, or you do those chalky candy hearts that everyone loves to hate, I guess, apparently. But you know, or like, again, like you were saying, like maybe a handmade card or something. I think that'd be really cute for Valentine's Day. But do you think people are still gonna kind of keep that alive?
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Nice. Before we get on out of here, I know we were gonna talk a little bit about the whole the new camera setup and stuff like that. Obviously, you probably heard a little bit about how they were unrolling the beta of the track system for the camera. how do you think you're going to be able to implement that into your set moving forward? Do you think it's going to be something that you proactively want to set up to do all sorts of panning, or where do you see yourself doing that in the future?
Probably want to use that for like, just to be like alternative for my visuals, because I'm not too productive in doing visuals and stuffs. Maybe I'll push out like one new visual every 6 months or something like that. But yeah, I feel like that's gonna be like a pretty good alternative once I set up like camera routes and stuff like that, so I can just showcase the venue. It's gonna be pretty good for like random Twitch people to come in to to see, oh, what's going on here, right?
I know recently we were talking a little bit about Club Orion. I love Club Orion, but we have been seeing that like a lot of people will go into Club Orion for the music and for the lighting, and the camera system is really great there too. But obviously, with so many people to be packed into Club Orion, FPS tends to get a little tricky when you have a lot of people and you have like the DMX lighting, the fog, and the camera system and everything, especially for the DJs performing as well. So having this camera system might be beneficial for all of us to kind of capture something a little unique. I'm just really hoping that it also will be very easy to put together. I've been seeing different things and I'm just like, I'm already a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely. And you can also like expect like a lot of creativities and like new contents being made from like all those people out there. Like maybe VRChat films or stuffs like that will be like will have like some awesome camera works. You never know, but yeah, those kind of stuffs are just like I'm kind of exciting about.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I forgot about all the videographers too, the cinematographers that are in VRChat. That they've already been blowing my mind with a lot of the stuff that they've been creating recently too.
Yeah, a lot of times, like, when I'm like playing a set and then after a set, somebody just like goes up to me like, hey, I took pictures of you. And then I was like, wait, really? I just send those pictures to me in Discord. It's like, I'm actually really impressed by a lot of their work. Yeah, like I definitely got to say, a lot of people are really talented in taking photos here. So yeah, that's like probably it. And also, I probably want to do like some stuffs like, doing like music videos or stuffs like that for new tracks. If I'm going to release stuffs, that's probably going to be like some new stuffs I'm definitely going to try out or worth trying.
I'm very excited about 2025 as far as the multimedia is concerned, especially because even last year we're continuously getting the interest of the Sundance Festival, as well as all the different applications that are coming in through Virtual Market, and again, especially seeing a lot of the clubs interacting with their own version of a kind of a tracked system with the camera work and stuff like that. It's all very exciting. But it'll be even more exciting when someone implements something that works super well that we're all going to be kind of a part of, no doubt in the future. Just as we're wrapping up VRC DJ Live with Carroussel, we always ask our guests at the end of every interview if they can give us their top 3 favorite DJs in VRChat that we can look forward to in the future.
Does it have to be like from my most favorite to my least favorite?
Oh, it just happens to be 3. Just any 3.
Okay, just have to be 3. Okay, yeah. There's no preferences, right? They're like equally as good. IMO. So, I would say Kitsune Mixes. That's one of them, and Villain. That's one of them, and there's another one. I think. Hang on, let me think. Actually, I got 2 candidates. I think it has to be Kex.
Kex is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
What kind of styles of music do they play? All 3 of them.
All 3 of them? Oh, yeah. Kitsune Mixes kind of play everything. Like from K-pop, hip-hop to all the way to like stuffs like mid-tempo, techno, and drum and bass and stuff like that. Basically, you name it, right? And then Villain plays a lot of bass music, like dubstep, mid-tempo. Mid-tempo is like probably his best, and drum and bass. And Kex plays everything too.
So it'd be a nice little.
His actual swing, though.
Yeah, kind of going off the thing you were saying that like you go see those performers that can perform everything, as well as kind of giving you a better idea of what style of music that you might even enjoy in the future. So those are definitely all really cool DJs for you to check out in the future. Before we get on out of here, though, Carroussel, how can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on my SoundCloud. You can find me on my Twitch. I don't really do anything special on Twitch besides playing music. Maybe I'll do something after I quit my job, but you never know. And then there is my Blue Sky and my Twitter or X.
Yeah, I think it's got switched over.
It's hard to get it right.
Switched over to X now. I kind of noticed that on my app. I was like, okay, great, cool. But you have a link tree too.
Yeah, that too. Linktree is just kind of like a collection of all those links. And also there's my YouTube channel. Sometimes I upload my sets over there, but it's kind of like a 50-50. I might get copyright blocked or something like that. I know I'm for sure blocked in Russia, but
we got to know some more people in Russia. I know there are some Russian people in VRChat and they know how to party because I went to one of their events and they were doing their own thing and I'm just sitting back being like, you guys keep rocking, man. But Carroussel, thank you so much for coming on to VRCDJ Live.
Of course. Thank you so much for your time, too.
Yeah. And of course, while everybody's here over on the Twitch, you can also find all of our replays and some highlights up on YouTube at VRCDJLIVE. Of course, we're kickstarting the entire month of February with a lot of our new guests. Of course, Carroussel joining us for this episode. Next episode, next Thursday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be joined by Soxalotl. Or Soxel, as he's probably been saying himself, and Tipster from Just Party. They're going to come in and they're going to talk to us about all of their upcoming events that are coming up, as well as what they've got cooking later on in the year. And of course, towards the end of the month, we're going to be joined by Alec Wim, who is kind of the founder of Rizumu, and be able to talk about all of the throwback stuff that we enjoy and love from way back in the day. So for Carroussel joining us here and our staff, my name is Rob Roman, and thanks for watching VRC DJ Live. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.